It's March 18th. Welcome to YesToHellWith.com. Let's have a serious conversation. I receive a lot of documents, videos, and so-called solutions. Patriot mythology, guru advice, quick fixes. I test some of them because people are searching. They're desperate. They're looking for relief. They want something to work. They need it to be the answer. And I understand because I was once there myself. But wanting something to be true does not make it so. And it does not make it real. And it certainly does not make it safe. That's why the Liberty Dialogues series exists. It is a framework, not a theory. It's a filter, a step-by-step structure that allows you to take any claim, any document, any notice, and break it down into authority, jurisdiction, status, standing, obligation, and enforcement, so that you can see immediately whether a given document or theory holds or collapses. Let me give you a credible example. People come to me all the time about a revocation of election, and I ask simple questions. Why are you doing it? What is the ROE? And the answer is always the same, because it gets me out of the tax system. But does it? So I took one of those documents, an ROE, which is some 12 pages, and ran just 2 paragraphs through the Liberty Dialogues. Now these paragraphs dealt with the tax code's election provision under 6013. This code section deals with a non-resident alien who is married to a U.S. citizen or resident and who has made an election under 6013G to be treated as a resident of the United States for income tax purposes. It does not deal with single individuals, U.S. citizens filing a loan, people who never made a 6013G election, general taxpayers, any broad revocation of election theory. Now, the Liberty Dialogues found 9 errors within these 2 paragraphs. 9. That's not a solution. That's a liability in progress. And the cost of getting this wrong is not theoretical. It's potential liens, penalties, years of trying to fix something that never should have been done. This is the difference. Everyone gives you supposed answers to what is not real. The Liberty Dialogues gives you a way to test whether those responses are even valid. It moves you from reacting to analyzing, from believing to verifying, from hoping to actually knowing. And it only takes a minute. And here's the better approach, and an even more important and better use of the Liberty Dialogues, and that is to compel the IRS to respond to your queries about revocation of election rather than submit a document that is suspect to begin with. Instead of making claims, ask the question. Go to the IRS and pose these queries. What election exists? What classification applies? How does it apply to you? And is there a revocation mechanism? That's how you maintain control. That's how you build a record. And that's how you operate in good faith. Every American should develop and document their good faith beliefs. Now, I provide a letter in the good faith section of the Statement of Understanding program to students. Now, if you want to see this in action, I'll send you a letter from this file that holds the IRS accountable to the issue of revocation of election without making claims under statutes that do not apply. If you want this document, send the code words Liberty Dialogues in this chat on this social platform. Now let me share an important conclusion. If you want to stop guessing, if you are ready to stop relying on questionable opinions, get the Liberty Dialogues. A modest price point of $48 as an investment, you can avoid suspicious solutions that cost $500 and give you nothing and potentially cause a lot of problems. The Liberty Dialogues is the most important filter you'll ever put between yourself and bad information. Get the Liberty Dialogues. And as always, may truth reign supreme.